Okay. I'm not seeing it on our Facebook though.
I say that it is streaming.
Okay, there we go.
Okay.
Then we're streaming. So good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. I am so fortunate to have Nye County Clerk Sandra Merlino. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes. All right. From Nye County, and she likes to go by Sam, and Sam will be addressing how to vote specifically in Nye County. Thank you again, though, Sam, for joining us. And if you would let us know, how do your residents in Nye County, how do they register to vote, and how are they going to vote this voting session?
Okay, that's an open question, really. There's so much going on with elections right now. You know, as far as voter registrations, it is so easy to register now. You can register in person in our offices in Pahrump and in Tonopah. You can register online with the Secretary of State's office. We send out applications to all of our postal locations, to our senior centers, to various community centers. So it is very easy to register to vote. And of course, we have automatic voter registration with DMV, even though I know we've had some issues with DMV being open. But it's been wonderful. We've had just such an influx of registration since that automatic voter registration took place. But as far as that goes, we also have same-day registration. So now during early voting or on election day, individuals can come in to register to vote. Of course, they'll be given a provisional ballot, but it's still a wonderful opportunity for those who don't get the chance to register ahead of time. And along with that same day registration, anyone can come in and update their registration, change their party, change their address. And in a lot of the rural counties, that doesn't cause them to vote provisionally. All we do is change their information right there at the site, and they are allowed to vote in whatever new precinct or whatever new party. I think in some of the larger counties, they still have to vote provisionally if they do change their party or their address. But as far as registration, it's very easy, but I'll give you a few dates. October 6th is the last day that we can accept walk-in registrations or by mail, and that goes for DMV as well. And then of course we have online registration that goes from October 7th through October 15th. And at that point, we will be mailing out mail ballots to anybody who registers online during that period. Then we have October 16th through October 29th for online registration. But those individuals who register during that period have to show up at the polls in order to vote, and they have to be able to show a current and valid Nevada driver's license and proof of residency. And then of course, same day registration starts during early voting, which is October 17th through October 30th. And then of course on election day, and same thing, you can walk right into the polling place in a couple of locations in Nye County, not all. You can go to the Tonopah Convention Center or the Pahrump Community Center to register to vote, but not all of my polling locations will you be able to register. As far as that goes, then we can get on to voting. As everybody knows, we have a mail-in election, but it's kind of a hybrid election. So if you elect not to vote that mail-in ballot, you are welcome to show up at the polling places to vote in person. Every county is going to be having touchscreen voting machines up. I don't know that every county is having all of their polling locations, but in Nye County, we're having all of our locations, which means we will have one in Round Mountain, we'll have one in Tonopah, we'll have one in Amargosa, one in Beatty, and one in Pahrump. So there's a lot of opportunities to vote in Nye County. As far as early voting locations, we have Tonopah at the Nye County Clerk's office. We just handle it right here in our office. At Pahrump, we have it at the Bob Roode Community Center, because that of course is our population center. So we have a lot of registered voters there. We'll be open, same thing, from the 17th through the 30th. And then we also have a polling location in Duckwater this time for early voting. And that's going to be October 27th. And that's from 10 to 6 on that day. So we're just preparing for whatever makes each voter happy. If you want to mail in your ballot, you're absolutely welcome to do that. If you want to drop off your ballot, you can do that at any polling location or at either clerk's office. Or you can surrender that ballot and vote in person on the touchscreen voting machine. So it'll be really easy for everyone to vote this election. And I know how important this election is for everybody.
Thank you. Would you be able to address the absentee ballots? So say that if I am going to leave the state for a few months, how do I request an absentee ballot?
You know, that's easy as well. I have the forms on my website. You can go to the Secretary of State's website. It's on there. And then I'm very open. I get a lot of emails, and I probably get 3 or 4 a day requesting an absentee ballot request. So we send them through the mail, we email them, whatever we have to do. And what it is, it's a seasonal address. So although everyone is getting a mail ballot, we still have those that plan on being out of the state on election day. So what we do is we put in that seasonal address for that absentee ballot. And when the mail ballots are all mailed out, it'll go to whatever location they have requested specifically for this election.
Okay. And then how do they know, how can they find out where their ballot is being mailed to?
Well, there isn't a real easy way that they can't just look up their registration to see where it was mailed, but they can contact our office at any time. And like I said, my email is right there on the website. They can contact me and we can tell them exactly where that ballot is being sent.
Great. Yes, because I know that some people are concerned about that as well.
Yes.
And then lastly, you know, I do know Clark County, Washoe County are desperately in need of election workers. How does Nye County sit? Are you?
Well, you know, I have been really lucky. I have people that I'm turning away in Pahrump. I probably get 4 to 5 emails a day or phone calls of people wanting to work. And so I've had to put them on a waiting list. I've had to do a little bit of searching in Beatty and Tonopah, but I believe we're full now. So all of my polling locations, I have workers.
That's great to hear. And that's even through early voting as well?
Early voting. Normally, because early voting in my office in Tonopah, it's just my staff who handles that. So that's easy. In Pahrump, the same workers that I employ for election day usually rotate during early voting. So everybody gets 1 or 2 days of early voting in, kind of in preparation for election day. So I use those same group of people.
Well, that's great. That's great to hear. So,
yeah.
Well, yes, you've addressed all the questions that I had. Is there anything that you would like to end with?
You know, not really. I know there's a lot of misinformation out there, and I just encourage all voters to contact your registrar or your clerk's office. I see a lot of things on Facebook and I want to type in there and correct them. And I feel like, well, that's really not my place. I have actually put on there, call your registrar if you have questions, because I think it would allay a lot of those fears, a lot of those rumors, and people would, I think, be more comfortable with how this election is going to run.
Oh, great. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for your time. I did put on our Facebook feed the website, your website that will bring them to all of the election information for Nye County. Okay. So, again, thank you everyone for joining us. And if you have any questions, please make sure to, like Sam said, contact your registrar or your clerk to make sure that your information that you are receiving is correct.
Thank you so much for having me on.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.